This is my first post interviewing myself, I guess is how I'll call it, and sharing the weight of my words. And right now the weight of the word is pretty heavy. It's Heidi Richter words, and Jill's sister died last week, and it's been a very tumultuous time, especially for Jill. I can't even imagine what it's like for her to go through what she's gone through, and the weight of Heidi and that word. As we talked about, we always used to have to define which Heidi Richter or Heidi Abelman. And so it's a really horribly sad thing to say that we don't have to make that definition anymore. Her death has meant a lot to me as well, and that obviously because it affects my wife, my partner, and just the enormous amount of feelings that she's having, but also how it affects me. And it affects me in a way that is so, in a way I never thought. It's one of the heavier deaths I've ever experienced, and we're talking about my mom that was really heavy and John that was really heavy, but for some reason her death has meant a great deal to me, in the standpoint that we had a relationship, and I'm really lucky to have had the sister. We called each other that, sister, brother, and it was really a sweet relationship based in hope, and things will get better. And going through this before with my sister, I know that they don't always get better. The reality is that this can happen. And when I say this, I guess I should define it by saying that she was a drug user, and all the circumstances are not known, but we know that the drugs got the best of her. No doubt about it. I thought I would do this weight of words for me. I asked Jill, but Jill and Ellie are really not into this at this point, and that's fine. You know, that's totally understandable. But I needed to do it for me. And this is the first time that I've interviewed myself, and I don't want it to be last. I've had so many words that I want to do before this, but this one carried a particularly heavy weight. And so part of the reason that I feel like it carries such a heavy weight has to do with the family dynamics between what we'll call Jill's family and we'll call my family. With Jill's family, when my mom passed, it was a very emotional thing for her because she had never felt that kind of love from a parental figure. And with her family, it was always very much her family versus, oh my mom, oh my God, my mom loved Jill. I think she loved her more than me sometimes, which is probably not completely untrue. But anyways, the family dynamics that exist with Jill's family make this weight more extreme because of the distance, the avoidance. It seems to bring all these other feelings to the surface, seems to see that she seems to see things that she had never seen before, maybe in her mother. Her father has really not even reached out to her. So when you get into I'll just leave it at the lack of humanity that her family has, it's just, it makes it so heavy. Her mom has not really flinched. It's been all business. There's no real talk of emotions. So yeah, there is a ton of emotions about just my relationship with Heidi, but there's also a ton of emotions about what this means to her family / our family, and how that her family was always that way and it continues to be that way. It's more of a her family and it makes it very difficult because it feels like there's things that should be spoken even between Jill and I and talked about that will never be talked about. And I'm not necessarily talking about regarding Heidi's death, but why Heidi died. I can't fathom the way that she died as an overdose, and I can't fathom the fact that her family never showed her empathy or love, caring, concern. And I don't think that I want to make them wrong, I just don't think they're capable of it. I'd love to know what Jerry and George Sr.'s life and relationship was like. I would love to know what their relationships with their parents are like. I'd love to know more, but I will never know that. And I will never know much about it. And I will never know so much. And I just will never understand the concept of a disposable child. I know that when my dad died, I came to terms with it pretty easily because he basically killed himself through alcoholism. But I cannot fathom not showing up and being there 100% for my kids. I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure I was not the father that I wanted to be. But I really try. I try every single day. And I'm always open to being better and talking about things and creating a different type of relationship that's based in an ideology that our kids are so critically important. If you're going to have kids, you need to go all in, and it can really be really an energy drain, a financial drain. It is a very selfless act, and it is a very hard act. But to see somebody struggling as bad as Heidi did through all those years, it's hard not for me to feel that there's peace for her. There's peace for me. There's peace for... There's peace. I have to feel that there's a peace there, as I'm not sure that we're the most empathetic in regards to if somebody is in need of dying, how do we deal with it? We can put animals down, but we can't support somebody committing suicide or that. So either A, you hold their hand till the end and you help them every second and every day that you possibly can, or B, you have to really listen and understand them. So you just have to understand them. I guess that's where it starts from, understanding them and giving them what they want, not what you think they need. And I really hope that I did that for Heidi. I really hope that I listened to her. I feel complete in our relationship. I feel there was a love there. I'm gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss her sweet, joyful voice and a cackling laugh and the kindness that she always showed my daughters on their birthdays and Christmas, and the cute little communications we would have about, like, when she bought the house. Yeah, there's so many of these sweet conversations that really led to hope, but I'm not so sure. Her pain wasn't so great that it wasn't just a facade. So, Heidi Richter, I love you. I will miss you. So this, I can't say it that way. Your name carries so much weight to me. And I have to see it as a good weight and not a bad weight. That there were so many sweet memories that we had. But not nearly enough. So today I'm going to write Heidi's name on the wall. I love you, Heidi.